Hello guys, Tom Yone here from Extratech with Tom. Welcome to my 6th HTML tutorial. Please guys, kindly subscribe to the channel and leave your comment at the comment section, like the video, and also share the video. Thank you so much. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to talk more about our style. You remember the style attribute we introduced while we are introducing attributes. The style attribute is actually related to our cascading style sheet, though we are not talking about cascading style sheet now, but we can actually declare some properties in our HTML documents. Okay, so without explicitly defining it in our head, we can, within the opening tag, like we saw while we're introducing the attribute, we can maybe style our elements, maybe put some color, maybe increase the font size, or maybe put a background color, or maybe put an image. So the style attribute is very, very important. It actually helps to style your HTML document. You cannot have, just imagine you have a website like the kind of website we like, this type of website without an image, so boring. Nobody will want to visit a website like this. Okay, so for you to make your website so attractive and to attract more people, maybe you want to use picture to display more information about what your website is talking about. Okay, so that's the importance of the style attribute. So the style attribute can be used to style the image, maybe give a width to the image. Like you already have your image tag, you want to give a width to the image. You don't want the image to just fill the whole screen. You want to specify the width and the height of the image. So let's talk about the style attribute. Let's go back to our text editor, and let's say, for instance, we have a block of text like we did in the previous tutorial. Let's say we have our p tag, or let me just start with our h3 tag. Okay, then we'll come here. We are going to get the text that will populate these tags with. So we'll come here and have our p tag. There's our paragraph tag. So if we go back to our browser and copy this text like we did in our previous tutorial, let's copy this. Ctrl C to copy, and go back to our text editor. Put it in between that. Don't mind the line. It took the whole line. However, let's just break it down so that we can add our style wherever we want to add it. Okay, so let's have it like this. Okay, so this should go here, and our p tag should be there. Then let's move everything, let's indent everything one step further. Okay, so if we go back to the browser and copy this, Ctrl C, go back to our text editor and paste this here. Okay, so now let's say we want to add a color. If Ctrl S to save this, let's go back to the browser and okay, let's close all this, go to text editor, go to run, and run this. Okay, if we run in our Google Chrome, you can see, like we had in our previous lesson, this is actually a whole paragraph. Okay, so now let's talk about, let's add color. Let's put color to maybe the heading tag. Okay, so the property is actually a CSS property, like I said, and it comes in a property and value. Okay, so let's go back. Inside our opening tag, that's where you put the style. So you type style like this, equal to, then you put your quotation mark, opening and closing quotation mark. You can equally use one quotation, you can equally use a single quote or double quote. Okay, so after the style, you now have the property like this, then colon, the value of the property, then you put a semicolon at the end. So that's how the style attribute comes. Like with this, we actually discussed this in our previous lesson. So without wasting time, let's just say we want to add color. So the property we want to add is color, and of course HTML uses American English, so it's the spelled color like this, not COLOUR. All right, then colon, then the value, which is going to be, let's call it red. You can use word to specify your color, or you use the color RGB value or use your hash value to specify the color. Okay, so if it is RGB and you want to specify, say RGB, then you open your bracket, you put the value. If it is red, 255 0 0, then close your bracket like that. And if you Control S to save this, run in our browser, you can see the text has been changed to red. Okay, now let's go back to the text editor. This arrow is red, G is green, then B is blue. So we say the blue should be 0 and the B should be 0, then our red is 255. So that's why you can see red there. If we change this instead of that and just put red and Ctrl S to save this, then we'll go back to our browser and refresh. You see that the red is retained. So that's how you add color. Now let's talk about background color. Background color also is a CSS property and it's represented. Let's go back to our text. We want to add a background color to this paragraph text. Okay, so we say style or style attribute equal to, then we have our double quotes. Inside there, we want to have a background color. Background, you spell background like this, hyphen. When the property is more than one word, you put an hyphen in between the two words. So you say color, then column, then you specify the value of the color. It could be RGB, it could be hash, it could be, a value. So let's say sky blue. I think there should be a color called sky blue. Don't forget to put your semicolon at the end of your property. So if we go back to the browser and refresh this, oh, there's no color called sky blue. Let's use powder blue. I think there is a color called powder blue. Powder blue, spelled powder like that, blue. Ctrl S to save this. Let's go back to our text editor and refresh. Okay, instead let's add this to our body and see how it's going to display. Ctrl S to save this and go back to our browser. What are we not doing right? Background color. Oh, we didn't spell background very correctly. So let's take this back. Let's have it back here and spell the background correctly. Background was not spelled correctly. Ctrl S to save this. Go back to our browser and refresh. You can see that the text background has changed to powder blue. And let's go back and check that sky blue we wanted to use initially. Sky blue. Let's see whether there is a color like that. Go back to our text editor and refresh. Of course, there is a color called sky blue. So because we did not spell the background correctly, that's why we got an error. Alright guys, so that will be all for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next tutorial.